Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be comparing the new Sultan Classic with the Benny's Sultan RS versus the original Karin Sultan that has been in the game since day one. So this is sort of building off of the inflation video we did a couple of days ago, where Rockstar have introduced a lot of vehicles from the same family, but the newer ones, especially the cars added in 2018, 2019, 2020 are like way more expensive than the ones that came out back when the game first launched. And the Karin Sultan is a perfect example of that because it has a handful of models that Rockstar's introduced. So let's start with the original Karin Sultan. And you didn't even have to buy this vehicle. In fact, before the Benny's website existed, the Karin Sultan was one of the most rarest and sought after vehicles in the game. And we'll talk about why that was in a little bit, but now in 2020, if you just want a normal version of the Karin Sultan, you can buy it on the Benny's site for $12,000. But you can also find it roaming around the world, and you can grab it for free. So you might be wondering, well, why did people really like this vehicle? Well, remember back in 2013, 14, and 15, cars and vehicles didn't have the same level of customization as they do now, with a handful of exceptions. And one of those exceptions was the Karin Sultan, which was a fun, fast, and quick four-door sports car. And when you bring it into the LSC, remember, this vehicle was added on day one. It has 22 customization options. That was unheard of back in 2013. Like, you just didn't see vehicles with this level of customization. And the Karin Sultan seemingly had everything that you could do. Bumpers, engines, exhausts, hoods. Just about the only thing it didn't have was liveries that you could apply there. It had lots of different respray options. It even had like a unique customization option, where if you added like a roll cage to the vehicle, it would technically become the Karin Sultan RS. It even had its own decal on the side. So Rockstar really did some cool things with this car. It was kind of revolutionary for a 2013 vehicle. And even today in 2020, I would say that this is probably one of the fan favorite vehicles that people just really still love to drive and enjoy this car. And again, you could do a lot of customization with this vehicle, which again led to a lot of different designs that players could come up with. So the Karin Sultan was free for the most part, at least for a while it was. It had amazing customization, really good performance. You could seat 3 of your other friends in there. So it's no wonder why it was one of the fan favorite vehicles of all time. Then in January of 2016, Rockstar introduced the Karin Sultan as one of the vehicles that could actually be brought to Benny's original Motorworks. And this allowed it to become the official Karin Sultan RS, which transformed this 4-door sports car into a 2-door supercar. Now, it was pretty expensive in order to do this. The conversion rate was $755,000 for the most part. I think I have like a 10% discount, so that might be a little bit higher. But doing so gave you a ton more customization options. So as you guys can see there, yes, there are 26 categories, but under each category, you had an average of around 3 to 4 subcategories that you could modify with these cars. And to this day, Benny's cars are still the most highly customized vehicles that you can actually get your hands on. There's just so many things that you can't do with a vehicle in the LSC that you do get to upgrade in Benny's. And so because of that, there was just so much customization that you could do to this car, on top of it becoming one of the best supercars in the game. This was also the first time in which we had seen a vehicle literally be transformed from one type to another, going from sports car to supercar. So it was actually pretty revolutionary for its time. And again, there were so many different versions that you could create here, depending on what type of customization style you were going for. So the Karin Sultan RS quickly became another fan favorite. And then that leads us to this past week, where Rockstar introduced another Karin Sultan. This time it is the Karin Sultan Classic. And this is the 3rd installment of Karin Sultans in the game. Now, the biggest difference between the other Karin Sultans and the classic version that was released a couple of days ago is definitely the price. So if you want to buy this vehicle now, it costs $1,718,000. And if you would like to get 25% off or the trade price, you have to use it in the Diamond Casino heist, which means you'll get it for $1,288,000. And so that means it's pretty expensive when you compare it to the original Karin Sultan and almost double the price of the Benny's conversion to make it the Sultan RS. And this is very similar to the regular Karin Sultan, except it's sort of got a more retro classic feel, if that wasn't obvious enough already. And just like its predecessor, it has a ton of customization that you can do inside of the Los Santos custom shop, or if you want to take it to your arena workshop or office garage, you could obviously do that as well. And so the big difference here is that there are two Karin Sultans that fall in the sports class, and now that there's one that falls in the supercar class. And honestly, this new Karin Sultan Classic is kind of a hybrid of the first Karin Sultans that were introduced. It's obviously not a supercar, but it still has the same level of customization as the RS version. So honestly, if I had to say which one is my favorite, it's probably the one that Rockstar added in 2016, the Benny's Sultan RS. I mean, it's a supercar. Who doesn't love those? It has a ludicrous amount of customization that you can do, and it's not terribly expensive. The fact that you can get the Karin Sultan for free and then just pay for the Benny's conversion, which is only like $700,000 for a supercar, that's really not all that bad. Now, you're definitely going to spend more money on the customization of the vehicle, but at the end of the day, I still think it's the best Karin Sultan of the bunch that's been introduced. Definitely one of the benefits of the new Karin Sultan Classic, though, is that it has a lot of like new customization quirks. Like, for example, the suspension cambering that you can do. That's pretty cool. That obviously isn't featured on any of the other vehicles. Like, there's little quirks where you can have bumper options with bent license plates and stuff like that. So over the years, Rockstar has developed new and fun customization options, and that is something we don't really see on those older vehicles. Now, one thing that's pretty equal about all of these cars, even though two of them are sports cars and one of them is a supercar, none of them are at like the top of their classes. So the Sultan RS is by far and away not the best supercar. The Sultan and Sultan Classic are by far and away not the best performing sports cars. So it's clear if you're getting these vehicles, you're not really getting them for performance. Yes, they might be good in free roam going from point A to point B, but as far as using them in races go, I think it's pretty clear there are better and faster options for each of the categories. Now again, the reason we're covering this now is because the Karin Sultan Classic is the newest vehicle that Rockstar has introduced in Grand Theft Auto Online. However, depending on when you're watching this video, that might end up changing. When I'm recording this, it's Wednesday, January 22nd, which means that tomorrow on Thursday, January 23rd, we are going to be getting a new event week in Grand Theft Auto Online. And because of that, we're likely going to expect a new vehicle to arrive. A new car is going to be at the Lucky Wheel podium. There's going to be new bonuses, benefits, discounts, and sales. The Twitch Prime stuff is going to change. It's the last day to take advantage of the premium races and the time trials as well. So I figured this would be a good time to remind you guys that you've only got a couple of hours, again, depending on when you're watching this video, to get involved and take advantage of everything that's going on in the current event week. But anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Which Karin Sultan do you believe is the best? Is it the original one that we've had in the game since 2013 that you can find off of the street for free? Is it the RS Benny's version that you can turn into a souped-up supercar with customization options galore? Or is it the brand new 2020 Karin Sultan Classic? It's kind of a nice blend of both and has definitely a more retro vibe to it. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.